we had Matt Kearney come over all the way over here from America. And it's a bit of a long trip. How was the commute?
It's not so bad, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know.
What was it, about 14, 15 hours?
13.
Yeah.
But you leave at night and you sleep and you wake up and you're here. So.
Oh, that's good. If you're one of the people who can actually sleep on the plane, then.
Yeah, you know, a few glasses of wine, you're all right.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, now your CD, Nothing Left to Lose. I understand that kind of tells, even though it's your second album and you've put out a number of EPs, part of this is actually telling the story of how you came to find your own musical voice, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, Nothing Left to Lose is actually, in some ways, is very much like my first work. We had recorded a bunch of, me and a buddy actually drove across the country and set up this studio in Nashville and started recording, you know, our own project, and that was what we put out there. And then Columbia got involved, and so we recorded a few more songs, and then, but Nothing Left to Lose was kind of like, here's like the first project we put out there with, you know, some real effort.
Mm. So that story, you and your friend driving from Oregon over to Nashville, you decided when you get there that you want to start writing songs. Had you ever had any sort of musical inclination before that? Like, I understand you used to write a bit of poetry and that sort of thing, but you know, in terms of like playing guitar or singing or anything like that?
Well, I was the kid that wrote all the poems to try to impress, you know, your girlfriends in middle school or something. Yeah. And so I became English major in college, and then my roommate had a guitar, so I didn't really start writing songs until I was like a junior in college. And I would pick up his guitar and I would try to play like some Dave Matthews song or something and I was so terrible at everybody else that I started writing my own songs. And so by my junior and senior year, I'd written a few songs, but when we headed out on the journey across the country, I was just kind of along to help him drive. Mm. And we got to Nashville and we set up a little studio, and it was pretty apparent to me that's kind of all I wanted to do. So I just really focused on it. It took a few years, and in that process started recording.
Okay, now you say that a lot of your songs are about your spirituality and songs of redemption. Mm-hmm. How do you pen them without sort of coming across too preachy and perhaps, I don't know, alienating some members of the audience?
I guess, I don't know. I don't really try to withhold what I feel or what I believe in my music. I guess it's just the way you communicate things to people, you know. And I have great, you know, the bands like U2 and Johnny Cash. I live in Nashville. Johnny Cash, he always wrote about his faith, and in a really cool way that was like very practical and was just very like coming from like a common man to speaking to his, you know, friends. So I guess I growing up in Oregon, there wasn't really like a culture around using like cliches, you know. So it's just kind of like you had to communicate what you felt and what you believed in a really poetic, passionate way. So I guess I've kind of borrowed from that.
Hmm. Nice. Okay. Now the video we're going to go to is Nothing Left to Lose, and I believe this song is the song about that trip that you made, isn't it?
It's my the fateful journey that packed up our car and headed off. And so yeah, we wanted to shoot the video. We shot it in my hometown or around Oregon, and wanted to kind of capture that stepping off into the unknown and trying your hand at something you're not sure of. So
yeah. Are there any little sort of behind-the-scenes things you can point out to us about the video that people can look and go, oh, yeah, nice?
The car I was really fond of. It was, I forget what the maker would have been in New Zealand, but they pulled up with it. I was like, that's really cool. I didn't head off in a car that's quite that cool. Mm-hmm. I think it was like a Ford truck or something across the country. But we shot it all in Oregon, which it seems like we spanned the whole country, but the thing I love about Oregon, which is very similar to New Zealand, it seems like, is you have all these different, you go from the beach to the mountains to like the desert to the plains. There's just like a lot of different landscapes. So we ended up shooting it there.